So yeah, I've been meaning to do another video, but yeah, hello, I'm back. So with this, I wanted to go on about the voting that has been taking place, and I'm quite amazed by what people want to see, I'll be honest. And I've had a lot of thought, and I've had a lot of, thinking of while I'm at work today, thinking which one am I going to do when it does come to it, and thinking of all these scenarios and what ifs. And I'm really quite surprised so far. I mean, it's only, you've got another, well, we're on the 2nd, so there's another 4 days to go, basically, before time's up. I'm kind of happy with what it is. So yeah, let's go into it. At the minute, it's currently at 6 votes, and it was the because I'm probably going to put it on other media sites, people are not going to have an idea. This is a idea, wow, because it's becoming nice weather again. I'll be, and because of my room's getting done out finally, now that I've got this massive heap of cash, that I can start getting a lot of things just sorted. I said about how mentioning to have a Dalek up in my room, of course it would be still operational in some sense, because Daleks, it's just easier to build them like that, posable. But I mentioned which Dalek would people want to see me build, and I'm also thinking this time round, because they're all classic Daleks, because I'm more better at the classic era Daleks when building, because they're a little more limited compared to the bulkiness of the NSDs or the paradigms. There isn't a lot of material needed for them. I said, what Dalek would people want to see in my room or studio to sit proudly whenever the cameras, whenever everything's set up, and a Dalek would be in the background. And so far, well, from what we can see, originally it was the red Dalek that was in the lead. Now it's the Death Zone Dalek. And again, these pictures are credited to the people, as I've mentioned. So Anthony Lamb and I can't say his name, but James Johnson anyway. I can't say his Twitter name. As you know, I'm really bad. Or, I can't remember where this image came from, but it's also on Google Images for anyone who knows. A Black Imperial. Now, yes, that would be pretty easy. And I've been, like I say, so I've been thinking scenarios, which one would be the easiest. So we'll go from the top and work our way down. And these were the reason why I've picked these are personal odd favourites of mine, which have always had a special place in my heart for Daleks that I've always enjoyed. So of course, number one being the red movie Daleks. I do love the movie Daleks quite a lot. I couldn't find a picture of just that one, but these were the best pictures I could find that were high quality, and they're all pretty much 3D renders. So the red one, I was thinking, and again, a disclaimer, they are still going to be full size, but they are going to be, if you remember Imp 1J's size, so if we were to do an Imperial, it would be his size, but I would be redoing it because, as you know, his proportions are all over the place. But yeah, again, starting from the top. So the red Dalek, I've done something like it in the past, and again, they would be 1-to-1, as exactly as I can get them, as close as possible. And I say replica in quotations because I can't do replicas compared to some people who are even on YouTube, and I will give them a shout out in a second, who have done just brilliant replicas that I've seen. So yeah, the red one, so that would mean I wanted something of a challenge. So I've been thinking, while I'll work, how would I do the globes? And the globes would be the easiest, and I have got something to show for that. Because they'd be smaller in scale, and here's an example. Acrylic baubles are the most easiest way if you're painting them from the inside. Now again, yeah, the light shines through because it's not finished. But this would be one of the globes. Again, not painted. So if I cover the back, get an idea, and then it's glossy, like the actual Dalek was. So that's a very simple one. Another thing to note is they wouldn't be a full hemisphere. if you know your Dalek props like myself and many people who are literally typing on the keyboard right now going, no Cameron, you can't use that, I can, because what I'm going to do is, this is 100mm in diameter where I'm going with this. So classic Daleks, the 60s all the way up to Remembrance, for the Shawcraft props that were used, the hemispheres were not full like this. They were, if you imagine, they would be about here. So they were called the teardrop design. They were very flat, if that makes sense. I've mentioned it before on the channel because of how much of a nerd I am with Dalek props history. So with me having these 100mm, I've got a hole saw at the minute coming, not for this specifically because it is for the red Dalek off to the side. A 95mm, so when the hole would be cut through, this wouldn't, you know, want to push outwards, so it would give that design of it being quite a small hemisphere while maintaining 100mm in diameter. It's a 100mm bauble. So yeah, that's that for the red Dalek. The dome lights, I did think of the ones that Tom's refurbishments did for me. Of course, lovely Tom who did that. So shout out to him. But I probably, if it does win, which it's quite close out of the 4, it does mean I will need him to make. I can't do it for the life of me. That's why I reached out to him when I originally bought them, because because they were originally beakers that were used, like cup beakers, and they have all this wonderful detailing in the what they used. You can't get them really anymore. But yeah, so I was gonna use the original ones that he gave me, but then I was like, no, because they'd be a bit out of proportion. They would be too big. So I'd have to reach out to him when I get the chance. If he would do just a single one, because I'm going to take a mould from it to make some resin ones that I'll add alcohol ink to them so that they are transparent and have that glossy look to them, as that's what I want, as like they look like glass, because that's what they were. So I would reach out to him when I get the chance if it wins, and I would ask if he could do a resin print. I'd have to give him the measurements of what it needs to be scaled down to for the Dalek when it comes round to it. I've got the measurements, all thanks to ADH Davros, which is right on my computer because I write it down all the time. And the measurement, before anyone even gets an idea of writing this down quickly, well, you need to have the Dalek plans in order to times this by the equation. But the equation is 1.083. You either times that to make it bigger, or you divide it to minus the Dalek smaller, depending on how many times you use it to get it, you know, to the right size. And that's, again, a shout out to ADH Davros. I really need to get back on Project Dalek. I've realised I've left everyone in the dark again. But hopefully, now that it's getting to better weather, it will be happening again. It always happens. Winter time just goes dead for me with channel stuff and build wise, but it's picking back up, and there will be a lot. I will guarantee you that there'll be a lot of builds. But yes, so going from that, yeah, so that would be the red Dalek. Very simple and very easy, and I've been thinking of every single thing on that build would be identical as best I can, but again, like I say, scaled down. And of course, with these, the red Dalek and the black Supreme, got to take in mind they have a massive base. So if this is going in my room, they're going to take up a large amount of space, which is another reason why I'm kind of thinking I don't want to do those Daleks now. But like, again, I love my red Daleks, so that's doing okay, but we'll have to see how the week goes. Now onto the Death Zone Dalek, and again, it always looks like I am copying other YouTubers, whatever's big at the moment. It's not like I'm jumping on the bandwagon. This is the same for Mono Supreme when I was watching his channel, and then I've just grown to love the paradigms more and more due to watching his content. Not that I want to copy it, I've just grown to like it. The person in question who I'm saying who it looks like I'm going to be copying if it does happen, and I know, I can tell as well, like I say, or did I say? No, I didn't say, I said to myself earlier. By the way, to anyone who's watching this and they want to vote but they're unsure about me seeing who votes, it's literally anonymous. I don't know who votes unless you comment or anything like that. I can't see who's. There's nothing to tell me at all. As you can see, there's nothing to tell me on who's voting, on, you know, sort of thing. So, you know, just if you want, take part, because it shows, you know, that my audience wants to engage a little more. I know some people, you only see this type of stuff while you're scrolling through YouTube. Not everyone uses YouTube, but again, it just makes it a bit more fun. That I'm just trying to engage with my audience. You know, what would people want to see from what I'm doing? Because it is slowly growing the channel more and more, and I want it to get better, of course. So yeah, basically I can't tell who's voting. So if you're unsure, you know, there, I've said it, I don't know. So if you want to take part, just take part. I'm never going to know who's voted. No one's going to slag anyone off of going, oh, you voted for this Dalek, you know, how dare you, you know, sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, so person in question with this, what it looks like I'm copying now, but I'm not, again, because I do love the Death Zone Dalek. There's a lot of Daleks that I haven't said. It's always been the Imperials that are my favourite, and I've always told people. And at the minute, everyone, all my new people, like friends who've recently met me, are probably thinking, I thought you said you were a Classic Who fan, and at the minute you're building a new series Dalek, and all you've been going on about is Matt Smith and, you know, all this at the minute. But yeah, I do love Classic Who. I've just at the minute been all over the place with different things, but I am a classic Dalek fan. But yeah, so the person in question, and I've got to it, is Patrick. I know he's probably voted for that. Like I say, I've got I think a basic understanding of who's voted for this. Definitely I know Patrick's gone, oh, I'd like to see that. If I'm getting that right, or if I've got that wrong, I'm completely sorry. I do feel a bit sorry for the Planet Supreme. That Dalek does not get a lot of love on the internet. I've only seen a few builds of that. Hey ho, and I have always wanted, I've even got the figure, and I will do a review of that soon. But yeah, the Death Zone Dalek. It's also thanks to Patrick, like I say, with the current Imperials that I'm about to mould soon, and finish moulding, I should say. It's thanks to him that I looked at his YouTube channel, like I've said in the past, where I got the inspiration of, right, how do I make it properly clean and take my time with it. And then if this happens again, I'll be looking at his videos again and going, right, this is what I need, this is, you know, this is the detail on this. So again, the Death Zone Dalek seems to be doing the most. Watch it, someone will come along and go, oh, let's mess all this up now and vote for something else. But yeah, that's one of my personal favourites. They're all, I say one of mine, but they're all personal favourites. I don't know which one I'd put in order, least to best to least. Going on to that, from the Death Zone Dalek, and again I mentioned, I'm just bad with memory, with these designs I would try and, again in quotations, try and make them as what they looked like on the screen appearance, not in public shots or behind the scenes or anything, what they look like in the episode or film, you know, sort of thing. So with the Death Zone Dalek, he had a lot of wear and tear. He had chips out of his dome, slats wonky and all that. And I would look at concept art to try and make, not concept art, like behind the scenes photos to look at the hemisphere arrangement and, you know, things like that. So that's another thing. And again, these Daleks will be slightly smaller, not full size, because they're just going to be model Daleks in my room. Model Dalek, not Daleks, because I'm not doing all of them. Anyway, on to the Planet Supreme. Sadly, no one has voted for that. I don't know why. I would have thought that would have done quite well, but no. Sadly, maybe it does get quite a bit of shade from the Dalek community because of it having a torch fitted in the end. It was meant to be disguised, but that didn't happen. Something happened behind the scenes, and then it had jam jar lights stuck on, and with some purple tint. I love the design, but sure, I can understand why people don't like it that much with all the wonky slats and the rivets all over the place, the big broad gun, but I love it. It's one of my other favourites. It's a striking Dalek. And then on to the last one, the Imperial, the Black Leader. Not an actual TV appearance, but it's been known throughout the community that there would have been a Black Leader Dalek of the Imperial mothership and everything alongside the Emperor. It's just essentially an Imperial Dalek just painted black and gold. So I've done that many. This probably would be the fastest build. And again, with these builds, I wouldn't be they'd probably be timber, because they're not going to be moving about. They're not going to be able to be fitted. I may eventually take molds from them if that, or the Imperial if that happens. And the reason why I wouldn't mind doing the Imperial, I mean I've done that many now, is, well, like I say, Imp 1J was fun, but it wasn't truly to how I would want it. The shape was completely wrong. Like, as I've mentioned in the past, I didn't know how to scale anything down, but now that I've got an equation, I now know that's what you need to do in order to scale something up or down. I would like to do that again, because I did attempt at the time. I was creating 3D prints of the slats, and I've currently got the mould up in my room of some smaller slats in scale for this Dalek that's just been sat around. So that's that. Pretty much 3D files on the on my 3D printer, just waiting in storage. So I've got all of that, and again, it's just another Imperial, just a lot better than what Imp 1J was. And now that I've done better shoulders, it would just be a breeze. So yeah, that's nearly 17 minutes. That's pretty much where I'm going with this so far. So I just thought I'd give it a little update. It's 4 more days. Don't know which one's going to win. I don't want to place bets because, like I say, knowing someone's going to come along now and be like, let's mess this up and let's, you know, change it. And I'm looking forward to whichever one it is. I can't wait. You know, it's a build that's just going to be an on-off thing, and whichever one it is, I will try and do a how-to video with this one for a change. I was going to do it with the Death Squad Dalek, but with it being, you know, not done to the plans, and it's my design, I don't want to just give out measurements of something that's not, to me anyway, in my eyes, not the best Dalek. You know, I don't want someone to try and build something that's not, you know, I don't know, I just don't know how to put it. Not that I'm bothered about people doing my design, I wouldn't mind that. Maybe when it's the new shoulders and the base, like I say and mentioned, when that happens, I may give away my measurements of what this Dalek, if people want to build their own Dalek. So maybe that's something in the future. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing one of these. And again, I wouldn't be giving the true measurements because, again, my Dalek is scaled down. So yeah, that is what's to come in the near future. But right now, like I say, I've just ordered the materials and they will be here anytime soon, within maybe tomorrow, day after, and I'll be on that Imperial during the week, what I've got left of the week anyway, because I am literally now really busy with a lot of stuff, and stuff I can't even name either. I'm not allowed to say, which is it's really one of those things, and I'm dreading it. It's one of those things of, I hate keeping secrets from people, and it really, but it'll pay off. These few secrets, and that I've got to keep confidential. But yeah, it's just, it's like when the Doctors were announced as the Doctors, but they could not say that they're the Doctor, you know, to the whole world. Not even to their own mum. So yeah, I'm all over the place at the minute. But yeah, that is pretty much just a little, I say a little update, it's an early 20-minute video again. But yeah, so hopefully during the week, there'll be another little bit, snippet of me doing the Imperial, and then it's onto fiberglass in that mould, and then making a cast. I can't believe it's finally happening after all this. And I've currently got 3D parts printing out for the sockets for it to get in prepared. Nice weather's happening, so I'll be then on with the skirt, finally getting that moulded, and we will start having an Imperial body taking shape. So yeah, that's it from me from today. I think anyway, just wanted to do a little video of this that's just been in the back of my mind of the votes. and what's to come soon. So yeah, also to the people, just vote. Just, you know, get yourself, you know, which Dalek would you want to see? I know, like I say, I can't tell who's who. Doesn't hurt to just click on one of them, which one you would like to see out of these four. Until then, I will see you probably in a few days, unless something just sparks out of nowhere. But yeah, see you soon.